I started hunting big game in New Mexico about 7 years ago. And since then, it has become this incredibly important part of my life. You know, meat that my wife and I harvest fills our freezer every year. We plan most of our fall around which tags we draw. And now I love helping new hunters get into the sport. More than anything though, I think these hunting trips offer this incredible break from everyday life. And for me, they really allow me to slow down and kind of reset. I think that's because with every other sport I do outside, whether it's mountain biking or skiing, the point is sort of to move as quickly as possible through whatever environment you're in. With hunting, it's the exact opposite of that. You have to slow down as much as possible and really take in everything around you, notice everything, and really immerse yourself in nature. So today I am getting ready to go on an elk hunt. I'm gonna help a friend out. Got the van fully loaded, and I'm gonna show you how I pack this thing for a hunt. So first and foremost, we've got a couple of bikes on the back in case we do harvest something, then hopefully we can use these bikes to get it out a little bit quicker. Now, everybody knows that you can fit a lot of gear in the back of the Wayfarer conversions. That's the whole point of leaving it open right here. And as you can see, it really fits my packing style. So I've got all sorts of stuff back here, everything from a big Yeti 210, which is like one of the biggest coolers they make, fits in there no problem. And my favorite part is that I don't have to worry about overloading anything because the Wayfarer build is so light. I got plenty of overhead in terms of payload and what this van will carry. Okay, so I actually brought a little bit more on this hunt than I usually do, and that's frankly just because I had the space and I was kind of frantically packing today, which is pretty par for the course for me. So obviously have the cooler, I've got a bike trailer up here, I've got my little portable shower up here, I've got the little shower tent, I've got 2 pairs of boots, and I have an entire tote in here, which you can't really see right now, but it's up front there with all of my hunting kit. So I got my clothes, I got spare knives, I got tripods and binoculars and walkie-talkies, you name it, it is in this van. So this thing is just a monster gear hauler. And the nice thing is I don't have to set up camp when I get in after dark tonight. Okay, so finally got on the road. The van is all packed. I'm going to help my friend Madeline, who goes by Mad Dog, on her elk hunt. She doesn't have anybody to help her. She's a good friend of mine and Sarah's, and we're gonna try to get her an elk. Now this is actually far from the van's first hunting trip. Actually, its maiden voyage was Sarah's elk hunt back in December of last year. I, pretty shortly after that, took it on a Barbary sheep hunt in January. It's been out turkey hunting. It has been on a deer hunt earlier this year. So this thing has seen a lot of different hunting trips. And I can honestly say it is a great little hunting rig. You know, one question I get a lot is, man, how can you hunt out of a 2-wheel drive van? The ProMaster's only front-wheel drive. That's like, it's not gonna work. It's really low to the ground. You know, to be honest with you, the vast majority of the driving that anyone is gonna do for hunting is on the highway to get to where you're going. Then you're probably gonna take some, you know, some back roads and whatnot. You're probably gonna get on some gravel roads, maybe some Forest Service or BLM roads. But to be honest with you, those are usually fairly well maintained. And yeah, there are definitely spots where, you know, high clearance 4-wheel drive vehicle is gonna get you a lot further than the old ProMaster that I'm in right now. But really, it's gonna get you most of the places you need to go. And you're definitely gonna find more animals on foot than you ever would driving around. So that's one thing I like, is it actually kind of forces you to get out and walk. You know, most hunters are going to stay within a mile of the road, and you're going to find most animals a little bit further than that. Obviously, it's not as capable as like a 4-wheel drive truck, but I think what you lack in capability, you more than make up for in comfort, especially on a long trip. I rolled into camp well after dark, quickly talked about what we were going to do the next morning, and then I got started packing up my pack and making sure I had everything ready to go for an early start. We left camp pretty early the next morning after a cup of coffee and a quick breakfast, and immediately started hunting right from camp. We found a lot of sign but didn't see any elk for most of the morning until the early afternoon, when we ended up bumping 3 bulls out of their beds as we were walking around in the woods. We ended up hiking quite a bit. We put in 12 miles at about 2 o'clock. And so when we finally got back to the van, we took a little siesta and then headed out for the evening on the bikes. Things were pretty quiet that night, but we did have fun riding the bikes around. Didn't see anything. Got to come back to a nice warm van and cook up a great meal. Van hunting camp is a little more swanky than tent hunting camp.
Yeah.
We had dinner. It's like 9 o'clock. Did not see many elk, but we did see 3 bulls. Bumped them out of their beds midday, and we're gonna try to get on them tomorrow. We couldn't find those bulls the next morning, so we moved locations and climbed this big hill in order to get a good look around. Finally, after staring through binoculars all day, we found a group of elk and they were headed towards a water tank. We scrambled off the hill and made our way as quick as possible over to the tank that the elk were headed to. We got set up on this water tank and waited to see if the elk would come in. Finally, right at the very last second, an elk came into the tank and gave us a shot. Unfortunately, though, it was a cow and we had a bull tag. Well, one of the many beauties of the van is we are on our last day of this hunt, and we've moved locations like 3 times now. Tried plan A, B, C. We're hoping this plan C is going to work out. But very easy to break down camp move. Unfortunately, as is the case with most hunts, Plan C did not work out. You know, we put in a ton of miles, we glassed a lot, but unfortunately this time of year can be particularly challenging to find a bull because sort of post-rut, they're off by themselves and they're not moving around very much. So unfortunately, we're not gonna come home with any meat this time, but that's okay because that's not really what this is all about. The hunt, of course, is always a part of it, but it's more about just being out here and exploring a new place, watching the light change and kind of seeing what the day is gonna bring. And it's an experience that you just can't get any other way.